you guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Grace and I make a lot of motherhood, twin mama, adventure kind of content. It's kind of a very fluid channel. We go to a lot of places. So if you're new here and you enjoy this video, I would really greatly appreciate if you would consider subscribing. Hit that like button because I have a lot of plans for this channel and videos that I'm going to be making soon. So, welcome. And if you are not new here, welcome back. I'm so thankful that you're here. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking a no-nonsense hospital bag video, okay? I watched literally dozens and dozens of videos like this, and I looked on Pinterest. There are so many resources online, but you know what, you guys? I overpacked so immensely. I brought so much more than I needed because I'm more of a minimalist, and I really didn't need all these things that everyone was saying that I might need. So the list I'm going to present to you is a really minimalist list for you, okay? So if you're like me and you don't want to bring a giant suitcase and you're thinking you're probably not going to need all these luxury items, then this is the list for you. This is like bare minimum stuff. Now my list that I have is broken down into a couple different categories. I have a need list. These are the things you do need to bring. Then I have a don't need list, okay? And I'll give you my reasons why. Everything that I say you don't need doesn't mean you shouldn't bring it. If that's something that's going to bring you joy and comfort, then heck yeah, bring it. But it's not necessarily something that you do need. Then I have a very short category of ask. That's going to be what you're going to talk to the hospital staff before you actually go into labor and delivery, what kind of stuff they might provide. And then I have the final category, which is just, I have it titled, meh. Yeah, it's like, you might want it, you might not. It's kind of up to you, okay? So that's my list. We're just going to go through boom, boom, boom in no particular order. Yeah, so here we go. So first off, I'm going to start with what you need, okay? Let me also preface by saying I had a C-section. So with a C-section, you are expected, or you should probably prepare to be in the hospital a little bit longer. Obviously, if you're having a natural birth, or maybe even being at home birth, or, you know, at a birthing center or something, it's going to be a little bit different. I still think this can be useful, but when I give you numbers of like how many things to bring, I'm usually talking about a C-section. So I came in on Monday morning for my C-section, and we got to leave Thursday at about 12 noon. So that's how long we were in the hospital. They almost let us go a day earlier than that, but one of the little girls was having some issues, so they wanted to keep monitoring her for one more night. So that's how long we were in the hospital. So that was a relatively long stay when it comes to a hospital birth. So first off, super boring, but you really, really, really need to bring your ID and your insurance card. So for a C-section, how it worked for us is we got to the hospital super early in the morning because it was an early morning C-section, and before we even went up to labor and delivery, they checked us in and they did all the insurance stuff there. Now, if you are going into the hospital in active labor, they're probably not going to sit you down and do all of that right away. What they'll do is you'll go up, you'll have your baby, and then either later that same day or maybe the next day, then the hospital staff for the insurance stuff is going to come up and they're going to ask you all those questions. So it will happen at some point during your hospital stay, whether it is at the very beginning or if it is later on, but you will need your ID and you will need your insurance information. So make sure you have that semi-easy to access. Next up, let's get into just clothing for mama. Okay, I brought 2 different nursing bras, okay? Whether you are deciding to try and nurse, or you're going to do formula, or you're going to pump, or whatever, you're going to want comfortable bras, okay? So I brought 2. I think I changed them, yeah, sure. You'll see a common theme with this, with a C-section. I was in so much pain and I was so comfortable, not to scare you, but like I was so uncomfortable. I was not wanting to like change clothes a whole bunch of times and like do my makeup or anything like that because I was trying to survive. So yeah, for me, I think I brought 2 really comfortable nursing bras, and I think I did change them maybe once a day, but I don't even know if I did that. You do want to bring 2 to 3 comfortable outfits for you, for mama. You want them to be easy to nurse in. Whether you are deciding to nurse or pump or whatever, you don't want to have like really, really complicated things to get in and out of, or tight things. You don't want tight things. But, you know, you might have a couple nursing nightgowns. What I brought a nursing nightgown, and I think I brought a nursing shirt. I basically lived in that nightgown the whole time. That was definitely the most convenient for me and comfortable. But yeah, 2 to 3 comfortable outfits. Most women, once they have given birth, they still look relatively pregnant for even a couple weeks, a couple months. So you're not going to birth the baby and immediately be back to your pre-baby size. You're still going to be, your uterus has expanded so much, and it takes a few weeks or months to go back to normal size. So you still look very puffy, very pregnant, very bloated. So you want very oversized, very comfy things to wear. Next thing, very practical, bring a hairbrush, or whatever you need to maintain your hair. I have seen so many videos where people were like, bring a curling iron, bring your straightener, whatever. If you want to do that, sure. That did not cross my mind at all. I brought a hairbrush and a couple hair ties, and I kept my hair like in a braid the entire time. One thing that some people might consider this kind of a luxury, but I kind of consider this a must-have, is flip-flops. So, anytime you're in a public place, even though hospitals are very clean, so it might not be a necessity, but taking a shower, not only, are you, in a room that lots of other people have been in before, but also postpartum is a very messy, very bloody time. So I appreciated having flip-flops to wear when I took a shower. So, and then the other thing, might not be a necessity, but I really found it helpful, was to have a water bottle. I will show you mine. Yes, I am a Stanley girly. I had this with me, and I really enjoyed it. It was big, it kept things very cold, and either my husband could go and fill it up for me, or so many times the nurses were so kind and were like, let me go fill that up for you. So it was really helpful to just have this giant water bottle with me at all times. Next, let's move a little bit to baby. If this is another optional thing, but if you're wanting to do like an announcement outfit, bring that, obviously. Most people do nowadays. It's not a requirement, obviously, but that's something to bring if you're interested in it. Then you need a going home outfit for both you and for the babies. So that's something some people make a really big deal about. I didn't at all. I didn't have a specific outfit that was their going home. I just brought a couple onesies and put them in. My babies turned out to be preemies, and we had little to no preemie clothes. So we put them in something that they weren't completely swimming in. And then for me, I literally wore the same outfit that I went to the hospital in, and then I wore it home, because I was still quite large post having the babies. So it was just a pair of really stretchy maternity leggings that I had worn through most of my pregnancy, and then this giant sweater dress that was really stretchy. I gave birth in February in Idaho, so it was really cold outside. So I think I put a jacket over it too, but I couldn't button the jacket or anything. And I don't remember what shoes I wore. My legs, I'm going to talk about this in a future video, but my feet and my legs bloated to an excessive, ridiculous size. So I couldn't wear any shoes. So I don't remember what shoes I squeezed into something just to get me to the car. But that might not happen to you, but that's something to keep in mind. Maybe I wore my flip-flops out. I really don't remember, but my feet couldn't go into like any shoe. For your husband or your partner, whoever's with you, they just need to wear comfy clothes. Same amount, like 2 to 3 outfits, but sweatpants, pajamas, that kind of stuff. They are just going to most likely be lazing around with you in the hospital room, running a couple little errands to go get you snacks and things like that, but like, they just need to be comfortable. So they don't need like a whole bunch of fancy schmancy stuff. Next thing, you'll need your phone charger. Very self-explanatory. Phone charger or anything that you need to have charged, iPad charger, anything like that. And then finally, this is an absolute 100% must. This is like the number one thing that you need, and that is a car seat for your baby. You cannot leave the hospital with your baby without a car seat. They will not let you leave. That's a must. So just bring that with you. We brought them the morning of the C-section and just left them in the car, and then Thursday morning, my husband went and got them. Okay, let's talk about the things you don't need. That was basically my list of things that you need. Okay, here are the things that you don't need. Again, some of these things you might decide is a necessary luxury for you, and that's totally fine. But these are the things that I brought because people told me to bring them, and then I never needed them. Okay, first off is postpartum stuff, okay? I'm talking pads, postpartum like underwear, like the diaper kind of stuff, any kind of undie, nipple cream, the like, what is it called, Hux? That's like the spray stuff to help with the pain. You don't need to bring any of that. The hospital provides literally all of that. Now, what I heard from other women that made videos like that, they were like, I didn't like the hospital diapers. Sure, that's fine. You are welcome to go and get the Freedom Mom stuff. That is fine if that would make you feel more comfortable. I just didn't care. Like, y'all, I was just trying to survive through a C-section recovery, and I didn't care whether my hospital underwear was super comfortable or not. And actually, it was comfortable. I didn't have any issues with it. But you are bleeding so much, you guys. So, like, using the pads and using the diapers and just use what the hospital, you're already paying for it through your thousands and thousands of dollars that hopefully insurance is going to pay most of it, but you are paying for it. So use it. Like, you really don't need all of that. Next thing are pillows. That's another thing. People are like, bring your own pillow. Hospital pillows are the worst. Well, we brought our own pillows, and it was so annoying. They just got in the way to the point where I think like on day 2, my husband just took our pillows down to the car. Or maybe we left them in the car and we never went and got them. That might be it. But literally, you just use the hospital pillows. They're fine. They're pillows. Like, I know I'm not a fancy gal, but like, they were fine. If you have like super high standards with pillows, sure, bring your own pillow. But like, if you're a normal plebe like me, just use the hospital pillows. Pillows are big and bulky. Next up, along the same line are blankets. So many people were like, bring your own blankets. Hospital blankets are scratchy. And like, they were blankets. They were fine. I think we did end up bringing one blanket in because my husband slept on the couch. Which actually I think the couch in our room was a pull-out couch, and he never pulled it out. He just laid on the actual couch. And I think he used a blanket, but he probably wouldn't have had to. We just brought it, so he used it. But like, there were enough blankets, and you can always ask like a nurse, can I have another blanket or something like that? Like, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So blanket would be a non-necessary luxury that you can bring if you want, but definitely not necessary. Same with towels. There's a running theme. Hospital towels are fine. Everyone said they were so scratchy, so we brought our own, and we just used the hospital ones because all I needed them to do was dry me off post-shower and dry my husband off. Like, I'm not going to be lounging around in a hospital towel. Literally just need to dry yourself off. So they were fine. Next up are general toiletries, things like, shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, all that kind of stuff. Our hospital at least provided those things. I think they even provided a toothbrush. I think I had brought a toothbrush and I just ended up using the hospital one. So, that kind of super general toiletry kind of stuff, you can bring your own. If you're bougie about what kind of shampoo you want to use. I don't think I washed my hair the entire time I was there, but, you can, but it's really not necessary. I would suggest, if possible, to see if you could do a hospital tour before having your baby, and that's a perfect thing to ask, like, what kind of toiletries do you guys provide? Really, you can ask about any of these stuff, but most likely your hospital is going to provide a lot of that. Again, it's not fancy. It's like a generic hotel kind of stuff. But I just didn't care, you guys. I just didn't care. I brought all this extra stuff, and I never opened it or looked at it or thought about it once. Next up, diapers and wipes. Please don't bring your own. The hospital will provide the diapers and wipes needed for your baby. Okay? And then at the end, when we were packing up to leave, they were like, here, take all of these. Like, all this opened. We had twins, so we had, extra lots and lots of everything. But they, sent all the diapers and wipes home with us, which was great. So just use what the hospital has. You're going to have to buy so many baby items for the next gajillion years of your life. So take the free stuff that you can, which isn't even free because you are paying for it, but you know what I mean. Oh, and this last one is things that you don't need, is a whole bunch of clothes for your baby, okay? Our babies, again, they ended up being preemies, and we didn't really expect that, so we had brought a couple onesies that were like newborn size. Well, the babies were too small for those, so they literally spent most of their time just swaddled up in the swaddle blankets that the hospital provided. I think we put them in, we put each of them in one onesie at one point, but they pretty much lived just in their naked little diapered self, but wrapped up in a swaddle blanket, and that was fine. They were totally happy. Newborn babes sleep a lot. So they just slept in our arms, or they slept in the little bassinet things, and that was their life while we were in the hospital, and they were just swaddled and happy, and that was good. So you really don't have to bring we're going to be there for 4 days, so I need to bring 4 onesies. No, you really don't. You don't. And on top of that, here's just a slight caveat. Most likely, this isn't true for everyone, but most likely you will have a partner or a spouse, a mother, whoever, someone with you. And if they really, really, really need to, they can leave the hospital and go and pick you guys something up. That's actually what my mom did. She wasn't staying at the hospital, but she came every single day. And when the babies were so small, she went to Carter's and bought a couple preemie outfits and brought them to the hospital. So I think we did end up putting them in a preemie onesie once. But it's not that hard to leave the hospital for a little bit to run and get something if needed. Okay, 2 more categories. There's the ask category. First off, you want to ask if your hospital wants you to bring a breast pump. My hospital did, so I brought mine, which was great because the lactation nurses taught me how to use it and everything. But some hospitals, like my sister's hospital, actually told her, don't bring it. You will just use one of our pumps while you're here, and then you'll go home and use your own. So just ask, because pumps are kind of big and annoying. So you don't want to bring it if you don't have to. And then the other thing is ask about snacks. So we brought so many snacks, you guys. So many snacks. Ask me how many we actually ate. Almost none of them, because our hospital provided tons of snacks. They had an entire 2 or 3 snack rooms on the labor and delivery that were just free and a free-for-all. So anytime we wanted a snack, my husband would just run and get it, and that was fine. And they were all different kinds of snacks. They had healthy snacks, they had not healthy snacks, they had sweets, savory, all that kind of stuff. They had drinks, sodas, all this stuff. So we did find that out when we went on our hospital tour, but we still brought tons of snacks. We literally finished eating those snacks a month ago, and the girls are 5 months. So if you don't have to bring snacks, don't bother. Those rooms most likely are open 24 hours a day, so even if you wake up at 2 a.m. and you are famished, your hubby can go and get you some snacks. Okay, last category is the meh category. This category is stuff that are kind of luxury items. I've found some of them nice to have and other ones I don't need, but you might want them. So first off is a speaker. We did use the speaker a little bit. We didn't use it as much as we thought. Hospitals do tend to be kind of noisy places. Ours wasn't crazy noisy. But if it would help relax you to have some music playing in the background, sometimes I think we played some music as we fell asleep at night, which was nice. Some hospitals let you play music like during a C-section, or if you are laboring, you could play music in the background of that. So a speaker could be nice. Definitely not a must-have, but it could be nice to have. Next up are the specialty toiletries. So if you are someone who really has a skincare regime that you do not want to break, you can bring that kind of stuff. I did bring like a cleanser. I didn't use it. I think I brought mascara. I never put it on. You know, I brought a couple really, really basic things. I think I brought chapstick, which I think I did use that. But like, you're welcome to bring that kind of stuff. I have very easy hair to manage. So some women are like curling their hair in the hospital. I would not be about that life, but I know some women really do. You need certain products for your hair, and I understand that. So that is just a personal choice, what kind of stuff to bring. Again, I've seen women who do like a full face of makeup while they're at the hospital, and that's fine. That was not my journey, but that's fine. So that's just a personal choice for you. Next are just things to pass the time. So things like a Kindle or any kind of book or card games or whatever, that kind of stuff, your iPad. I never once thought about any of that stuff. Because you guys, for me, this was my first kids, and they were also twins, and I was also recovering from a C-section. So I had a lot of things going against wanting to like chillax. I either wanted to be gazing at my babies, or I was actively feeding them or trying to nurse them, and that, you know, that takes a while with twins, or I was exhausted and just napping, or I was in so much pain I could barely sit up. Like, there were so many things. I never thought, like, I'm so bored, I just want to read my book, or I'm so bored, we should go fish, you know? Like, I never thought about those things, because I had so many other things happening. So, for me, I never even thought about that. I think maybe I brought a book, never even cracked the cover while I was there. So maybe if this is like, you know, you've already had babies before and not that you're not going to be excited to be with your baby, but like, I don't know. Or maybe if it's just one baby, maybe it's not as time consuming. I don't know. This is just my experience. So there might be a time or a place where you would want a deck of cards or something, but that was not something that I ever felt the need. I also had my phone. So I think if there was anything that I had downtime, I might have just looked at my phone, which is not great, but you know, it's reality. 3 more things. Almost done. Next is a robe. Some women swear by having a robe. I didn't have a robe and I never thought about it. You guys, I think a lot of women want robes because they're nursing, and then when someone comes in, they want to be able to like wrap up quickly. My whole modesty and dignity, all of that was gone. It was just gone. Like, poof, goodbye. What is modesty? Yeah, I mean, I was wearing semi-covered kind of stuff, but to be totally honest, like that nightgown I was talking to you guys about earlier in the video, that was like, my boobs were kind of just like very out wearing that, and people would come in and I would just be like, hey, the nurses don't care. They had already helped me like change pads, and they had seen so many things that just, my dignity was gone. So a robe was not something that I was that worried about. I think I did bring like a cardigan of some kind. So, you know, by like end of day 2, day 3, when I was really starting to get up and walk around, if I would walk out of my room to go get a snack or fill up my water or something, I think I threw the cardigan on just because it wouldn't just be nurses that would see me. There could be random humans walking through the halls of the hospital at that point. So I think I would throw that on, but like a robe just wasn't super important. Also, most hospital rooms have their own thermostat, so you can adjust, because I'm a very cold-natured person, so I think that's another thing that I brought. I'm just remembering this now. I brought a lot of warm things, but in reality, we just bumped up the warmth in the room. and I didn't need all that stuff. Next up are slippers. This is a personal preference. I brought slippers, but you know what I wore the whole time? Was the hospital provided me with grippy socks, and I wore those. I literally, other than like taking a shower, I don't think I took those off for the entire like 4 days that I was there. I wore those grippy socks all day, all night. And I do think the grip is really important. If the hospital provides it for you though, I think it will have the grip. But the grip is important because the floors at a hospital could be a little slippy. But yeah, slippers, grippy socks, that's something you can ask if your hospital provides it. And then finally is a nursing pillow. I didn't bring a nursing pillow, and I think they're just so bulky and inconvenient. I wouldn't suggest bringing one unless like you are, you swear by your my best friend pillow and you can't imagine trying to nurse for 2 days without it. Like, it just seems like it would get in the way. So, but if that's something that would really bring you comfort, then go ahead and do it. So that is my list. I would love to hear from you guys. What are your essentials? What are things that you brought that you did not find important? Just to help each other out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry, it's very long, longer than my normal videos, but it was a lot of information to get out. If you have any questions, I would be happy to talk about this. I had such a journey on my pregnancy and my birth that I do really, really love talking about it. So I would love to talk to you guys about it. If that's all, then I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.